It's a movie that's really about appreciating moments in life. And that's it, and making you aware that there's moments to embrace, to be happy about, to appreciate, to fully jump into those moments. You know, we've all seen movies where we leave the theater and we're like, that's it, I'm changing. You know, I am gonna be different.
There was something about the theme of death and life both being equally as mysterious to each other, and death being a reminder of how precious life is.
I wish this could last.
Then it wouldn't be as special.
The greatest healers, I've always felt, are laughing and loving and being loved.
We're all fighting for our lives. I mean, because that's really sort of the common theme of this movie, that all of these characters are fighting for their lives. And you have Johnny Pinkley, who's fighting for his life because he thinks his life is romance. And, you know, Betty and I, who are having the obvious fight of our lives. And Jason's fighting for his life because he just wants life.
I'm not doing that.
You have to, you're the lead.
I'm gonna look like a fool.
Well, the children love fools, so they'll love you.
I know what you're doing. Would you stop? I'm not like you. I'm not happy.
Happiness isn't the lottery, Jason. You have to choose it.
Focus on the good stuff. Focus on moving towards love and contentment, and you have the power to choose that.
The reason why Jason feels so miserable is, or the reason why he thinks he is miserable, is because his parents weren't around very much, and he sort of raised himself, but he is just literally so unhappy. That's, you know, that's why he volunteers at the hospital, so he can figure out what it is about life people are actually fighting for. Why fight for life if it's so, you know, if it's so horrible? And he watches TV and he sees people who died in plane crashes and car wrecks, and he wishes it was him. It's just that constant struggle that keeps him miserable. And he's everything he'll ever need to be happy, but he's so clouded by misery that he can't even see it.
He's an intelligent guy. He knows he should be understanding this, and he can't because he hasn't got the emotion behind it.
Well, I think what Amber does for Jason is she is an example of what he always wanted to understand. You know, she is someone who absolutely fights for her life, that she wants it so much and she embraces it so wholeheartedly that's why he probably falls in love with her, because he's so intrigued by someone who has such optimism.
I just want to get so caught up in giving that I forget who I think I am. And I become who I really am.
As she goes down, as she gets weaker and is closer to dying, he gets better and feels more alive than he ever has.
You've got to keep your strength up.
I just want to go to sleep, Jason.
You will. You will. Come on. Come on. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Come on. Come on.
I really just want to go to sleep.
We started shooting with Ian first, and then Lauren showed up, and he said, "My God, she's beautiful." And he was so nervous to work with her. And that word was perfect, because that's what his character is all about. He's falling in love for the first time.
Well, I think it's absolutely shameless that she's spending so much time with that boy. I mean, he's got to be half her age. That's right. How's Stitch and Bitch? That's Stitch and Share, Miss Miller. Stitch and Share.
We are not stereotypical or, you know, Saturday Night Live church ladies, but again, good-hearted, broad-based, and loving, caring, sometimes extremely funny and sometimes ridiculous, but everyone will be able to relate in their own community or their own congregation. You got one of each of us.
I think that the actors who are playing these parts bring the authenticity to the roles, because with Jeannie Seeley and Jan Howard, you know, I mean, just two of the women that I've known for many years who are, they're just legends in the country music business. As far as, you know, the Greek chorus, the rest of us who were back there just laughing all the time and having such a great time, there's a natural chemistry between us because we have history together.
Yeah, I did a film a few years ago, Steel Magnolias, which is somewhat like this in terms of the strong Southern woman and the attitude about life and death. It comes with us. There's no point being afraid of it. Feel the sadness of no longer being able to see this loved one, but know that we're all in the same boat, inevitably.
These people have nothing. They live in this one building right now. They're facing their total mortality. Their trips out into nature involve a cemetery, and it doesn't matter. They still find joy. Like, that's an incredible thing.
Tom is called on to be, he's wooing an impossible love at the moment, because Betty is, they've had a history, and they've been together at one point, and then he left and went off to the Korean War and mysteriously got married over there, and Betty has never forgiven him nor forgotten. And she's a kind of craggy, nutty, eccentric Southern woman who is inordinately, you know, vulnerable inside and sensitive inside, in that she's in the position of having a lot of loss in her life because she's got cancer.
Betty, did you know Jason had to go to 4 stores to get me my glitter? Now, wasn't that nice of him?
I'm surprised he had the time, since he's been following me around all day. Don't think I didn't see you duck behind that Coke machine in the cafeteria. Huh? Well, what's the matter? This one's not going fast enough, so you're trying to get a sure thing? Well, they're not going to be cleaning out my room anytime soon.
Lauren Holly plays Amber, who is kind of my saving person that I meet, and she sort of brings me through my anger about my cancer, really. She kind of brings me through to a courage to accept love.
Betty?
What?
The yellow rose of Texas is what I've come to see. No other soldier knows it, no soldier but me.
They look at everything through kind of a humorous lens. And no matter how tragic the circumstances, you can find somebody to laugh, you know, something to laugh about in it.
Tom, and the script calls for him in a very kind of fanciful way to woo me in this inordinately extravagant manner, and which I adore, of course, but have to very consciously hide from him.
How's your day, gorgeous?
Don't you gorgeous me, you old nut.
She thinks Amber's an angel. And she is an angel because I think that she is a character that has so much armor. I just pierce it right away, so there must be something sort of heaven sent.
You're a sweetie. You shush.
I love you, Betty.
I love you too, honey. You've been like a daughter to me. I don't mean those ingrates I gave birth to. I mean, like a real daughter.
And yet, the whole point is that you can choose love and you can choose to be happy. It's not a random experience. Happiness is a choice.
body's sort of a strange thing, but it's not necessarily a just sort of downward decline, that it's more about, you know, some days you have good days, and some days you kind of feel good, and other days you don't feel so good, and who knows, but a lot of times if someone's going to succumb to the disease, and if it wins, a lot of times right before that, they have a burst of strength. You know, it's so, I don't know, I just can't imagine. These people are so courageous, you know, and what they go through, the physical discomfort and the emotional discomfort and the mental discomfort. I mean, it's unbelievable, and they just put one foot in front of the other and keep going.